To the Scoop More podcast, or it's still a working title name. I've been wanting to do something like this for a while, where I just come down here, I just speak, I just do my thing. I have the big podcast with my friends, two of my best friends, Aunt City and Jewels, the As Per Usual podcast, which the sign is just behind me, but I couldn't get it in this solo shot. But a big thing for me is I just wanted to do this for a minute now. I've been wanting to do this for a minute, where I just come through, I just come here, I sit, I talk, with whoever wants to join in, family, friends, strangers. You just shoot the shit, talk about life, man. This has been something I've wanted to do for a while, and it's like, why not now? I've had a lot of inspirations and leading into what I wanted to speak about today. Just inspirations and things, and just things I realized as the years winding down in 2023, and it's like, why not now? So I'm gonna touch on that. Just gonna touch on things like life, how life doesn't play out the way we ever expected to, and just other things. But before, I get really started in that, man, it's not even about me. It's more so about As Per Usual. We're starting to put in the groundwork of getting that going up again, in bigger and better than ever, with just with better quality, better picture, better sound, getting recorded in 4K. So like we are looking to record that in January 19th. So that would probably come out the week of January 22nd, and kind of just getting back into a consistent kind of schedule on here. But I'm locked and loaded, man. I wanted to. It's funny. I have my laptop in front of me, and how I had it set up was with the title, and I kind of deleted and typed out a couple different ones I had, like Scoop Spot, because as I'll get into, I'm actually sitting in my favorite spot in my apartment. So I was like, if I'm going to record something, I want it to be in complete comfort, I wanted to feel like I'm home, as I am home, but like I wanted it to be as comfortable and chill as possible, because that's just who I am in a nutshell. So literally in my favorite spot, so Scoop Spot, Scoop's Corner, whatever you want to call it. I got a nice comfy pillow with me, got a nice comfy sweater. I was like, I'm just trying to be as cozy as possible. It's a Monday morning in Cambridge, Massachusetts, and I just woke up. Well, I knew this yesterday. On Sunday, I was like, I'm definitely gonna record something this week. I'm definitely gonna get on here and finally get to crack and get to what I want to do, man. And I'm glad that it's finally, coming to fruition today. But I gotta say, because this is gonna go up on the As Per Usual page, man, please subscribe to As Per Usual if you haven't already. Man, that's the baby right there. Shit's going on 3 years old. We have about 30 episodes, but that's with me and two of my brothers that we created, where we talk about our upbringing, our time growing up in a Nigerian household, and just like kind of the similarities. For my bro Ant, like he comes from the perspective of being born in Liberia, but then coming back to America. Me and Jules were both born in the Boston area, him in Worcester. But like we have these and they grew up together. I met them a little bit later in life when I was like 18. But we all have this it's so many similarities. There's a lot of differences and there's a lot of similarities too. Then we also just talk about pop culture, entertainment, try to hit on sports, what's going on in the world, the dating world, man, how all of us kind of figure things out. So you gotta check that out. So please subscribe on YouTube, Apple Music, Spotify. That would be grand if y'all could get that popping for me and for my brothers as well. And we will be starting up again with that soon, very soon actually, in mid-January, mid to late January, however you want to define January 19th, which is also the day before my birthday, the day before my 34th birthday. It's just kind of crazy to say. We're just getting older. Where is the time going? Like, damn, I'm gonna be 34 years old. That's crazy. I love it. I love it though, because I've just never felt like I'm getting older. Like I've just always felt like I don't feel old. I don't know. I don't think 34 is old. I mean, it's definitely old compared to I've lived through all my 20s and my teen years. So I guess compared to them, I'm old. But there's I've just never felt old. I've never woken up and been like, oh, my knees or my back or my shoulders, in that kind of way of maybe sore from the gym, but not because I'm old. So I just feel like it's just really a mindset because I have friends all the time that will say, "Oh, I'm getting old. Oh, I'm 27. I'm old. I'm 24. I'm old." And I'm just like, what? I never really got that. But as you can see from the start of this podcast, and it's just me here. I'm a one person crew on this one. We're all over the place. We're going to be jumping all over the place. We're going to jump all over the place. I have a little agenda. I'll try my best to follow it, but yeah, we'll see. We'll see where that goes, man. I'm just enjoying the ride that I'm on this still working title, Scoop Podcast, or I like Scoop Spot because we're literally sitting in Scoop Spot. My real name is Chopay, if none of you guys know that. But yeah, I am a Cambridge kid. I'm currently sitting in an apartment in Cambridge, Massachusetts, and yeah, that's all the info I'll probably give you on that. But I guess let's jump into the episode. Yeah, and the theme for this episode is life never plays out the way you expect it. And I felt like this was a good direction to go in because, again, as this year winds down, 2023, there's a lot of things that happened to me this year that I was like, man, I would have never expected that to happen. And I really had to sit back and just think in my thoughts and just be like, just think to myself, like, I really have no control of this. Like, things that you never expected to happen, or things that people that you expected to be in your life for a foreseeable future, things like that. It's not always the case. Like, I've been lucky to also, even though I've been away, besides 1 year in Washington, D.C., I've lived in Cambridge basically my entire life, or in the surrounding Boston area. And so, like, I've just always had, like, the same friends, the same kind of routine, seeing, like, the same things when, like, I'm in this area. So it's just, like, you just kind of get complacent and you get used to that. And then, again, 2023, threw that curveball. And it just, like, had me, really contemplating and really figuring things out. A lot of things, like expecting. Well, before I go right into that, like, you look at your life a year ago. I look at my life a year ago. You guys look at your life from what was a year ago, and you're just like you expect all these things, and you would never expect certain people that you expected to still be in your life, or certain people that you wanted to be in your life, not to be in your life anymore, and you're just like, damn. Shit happens, but all you could do is, like, the main people, the people that are meant to be, in your corner in your life, or your friends, your family, they'll remain, and you just really cherish those real relationships. Something else I learned is, like, that I felt like I learned is that I don't need 100 friends, because, like, we get stuck in, like, we see social media and we see groups of friends posing and, like, going on vacations and trips, and you're like, oh, I want that, or I gotta do that. I gotta make my grid lit on IG and have all that shit popping, And it's like, you don't really need that. And it's like, that's like a whole different world. Like, the social media world isn't real life. And even though I knew that, like, that's something I already knew, that's not something I dwelled on, but, like, you could still get lost in that kind of translation as you're, scrolling. If you, mindlessly scroll, you kind of get lost in that, and you're just like, damn, like, I'm just here, like, I'm sitting on my couch, and people are exploring, like, you don't know what the fuck. And I actually try not to swear too much on this podcast, but we'll see. I have a bit of a potty mouth, but, like, you see all this stuff, and it's just like, you don't know what they're really going through, in real life, or what's going on. So it's just like, you can't be focused on that. You cannot care. You can only control what you can control, and that is yourself. That's yourself at the end of the day. But going deeper into, how life never plays out the way you expect it to. I've always grown up, especially, like, since my teenage years, thinking that I could control everything, and boy was I wrong. But I really felt like I did, because, again, I grew up in a neighborhood where I grew up in the same neighborhood my entire life. So there really wasn't much to change. So I really never really got accustomed to change. Maybe people can relate. That's why I find people that move a lot and that love change, I find them so fascinating. And I try to take little bits and pieces of that, like, where they got that. But, like, you usually hear, oh, they moved a lot as children, or their parents, went through a divorce, so, like, they had to get used to growing up in two different households, or eventually having a stepfather or a stepmother, or, step siblings, and it's just like all this change. I didn't have that. I had pretty much a standard growing upbringing to where change has really started. Change really, I was afraid of change. Like, I'm not even gonna lie. Like, I can't even believe I moved myself. Like, I moved to Washington D.C. Like, when I did that when I was 26, so that would be going on 8 years ago when I made that move. I didn't really think. I was just like, I don't want to be here anymore. I want to change, and I just did it. I got up. Well, I didn't just get up. Like, I planned it out, but everything thankfully fell into place, and everything worked out. But like, I didn't really think of it that too deeply, and just thinking that a lot of people from my hometown stay here, and like, I'm here now myself. Still, well, 8 years since coming back. I did a quick change up, and it just had me thinking, like, you got to embrace change. Like, that's the only, like, a big part of life is changing and evolving, and I been afraid of it for so long, but like, I'm not really, like, once I've recognized that, which is something I recognized this year, also through help of therapy and talking to friends, that they're like, you just got to embrace it. Like, you gotta go through all, like, the trials and tribulations and figure things out and try to get to that point where, like, you're just never 100% comfortable. Like, you can't get too complacent and comfortable in life. Like, you gotta always keep evolving, always keep changing. You just can't stick to the same routines and stick to the same things, because, like, you'll drive yourself crazy. I mean, kudos to the people that can do it and love it, but that's just never been me. Like, that's just not me. That's just not the life I want to live, is what I should say. It's how I should say it. Because you get, when that burnout starts to creep in, like, it's not the best feeling, and that's why people get anxiety, and that's why people get depressed and all the mental health things. And it's like, we're human at the end of the day. Like, we need to indulge ourselves with these different kind of experiences that will fulfill us. And if we're not getting fulfilled, we're just going to become a shell of ourselves. So yeah, in terms of life never plays out again the way we expect it, I want to kind of just go deeper into that. And like, even like with examples, like with relationships, like, you expect, like, not just romantic relationships, friendships, that you think that these people are going to be in your life, and then this, that, and the third happens, or someone that you really wanted to be in your life, but it just doesn't work out, due to circumstances, decisions made, actions done, things said, and it sucks. And like, it sucks, but again, you realize it's like, this was just a part of my story, and this person wasn't meant to be in it, or they served their purpose. Like, the great saying, people that are in your life for a reason, people are in your life for some seasons. And like, that sucks, because like, I think, like, to the core of me, like, I get really attached to people. I'm a very, like, me personally, I'm a people person. So like, I really I enjoy making connections, and it sucks when you make a genuine connection and then that genuine connection is now over. Like, that always sucked to me. And but you have to, again, it's just something that you have to embrace, and you just have to roll with the punches and say, hey, this person served the purpose in my life as I served purpose in their life. And it wasn't meant to go past, this date. Like, everything has an expiration date in life is something else that I've also always keyed in on. So that's just really, like, the big thing, is just figuring out, who and what can serve, the right purpose in your life, and just figuring out, is this person a positive? To me, a person, it could be a person, it could be a job, it could be, anything. Does this person serve a positive impact for me, or negative? And it should be vice versa too, because if it's negative, then you should have no problems, removing that person out of your life if you feel like they don't serve the right purpose in your life. So that's big. That's that on that. In inspirations, it's funny because, like, I'm sitting here and I'm cozy, and I've been doing this podcast again a little bit with my friends. I'm really trying to get to a consistent space to do it with myself, where I check in, because I want to talk to the people, especially people that watch As Per Usual, or listen to it. I wanted to also talk to you. I don't like going because we didn't really do much this year because we were trying to hit the drawing board and be like, what can we improve on? And then we're all also working on our own individual projects. Got Jules with his music, City, Chef Vano, chefing it up, doing big things with the cooking scene, restaurant industry. So it's it's really tough to get all three of us together, even on Zoom, but the Zoom's trash. So in person, if it's here or wherever, it's really hard to get us all set up and do it, even though we're really trying to do better with that. So I'm I want to talk to the people, and this is what I love to do. This is what my passion is calling, is this media stuff. Is just so I'm gonna make it happen. I'm just not gonna wait around and wait until the three of us can all connect together, and then we don't do it again for a couple months. I have to take the initiative to just come here and talk to y'all, and come here and just create content, because that's what I like. This is what I love to do. I love talking to people. I'm a people person, and I just like learning new things. So this is just what has to be done, you know what I'm saying? So inspiration, the big inspiration, people will definitely find this, well, my sister wouldn't, but people would find this interesting, that the big inspiration of why I'm even recording this morning on a Monday morning is, shout out Emma Chamberlain. I think she's the in terms of this media space and what she does, since I've freaking discovered her myself in 2020, I've just always found her inspiring, and watching her vlogs and seeing how long she's done it. I started watching her stuff in 2020, when she's probably started recording 2016, 2017, if I'm not mistaken. And her reasoning for why she started, and she's 11 years younger than me too, so that shows you that age doesn't matter in terms of you never know who you can inspire, and who's watching, seeing her, just how free she is. You feel you connect with someone that you've never met in your life through the computer, and she has such a great way of making you feel like you're her friend, you know her. And that's because she's just herself. That's because that she's just her true authentic self on the camera. And I watched an interview with her recently, last weekend actually, where I can shout out the podcast she was on, Colin and Samir podcast, that I also really enjoyed the show. That I also really like them too. I remember seeing them on Yes Theory a couple years back. That's when I first discovered them and followed them on YouTube since then. But and she said, she made something interesting. She said a lot of her friends and a lot of people, even including myself, had to act kind of different around your parents growing up. You were never really, a lot of people were never their true authentic selves. You act one way around your friends, but then when you're around your mom and dad, your parents, or family, whatever, you kind of put on an act you're not really truly yourself. And I didn't know that a lot of people actually go through that. She said the opposite. Emma Chamberlain said that her parents, inspired her and embraced her of just being herself. If she messes up, she fucks up, they did something, they were different, is what I'm just kind of paraphrasing it. And I found that very interesting, because I was wow, even now to this day, as an almost 34-year-old man, I don't feel I'm completely myself in front of my parents. They have to watch this to see the real me, or see me on my podcast, or be a fly on the wall when I'm out with my friends or something. But I don't really feel I'm myself a lot of the time. So I found that interesting, that was big. But when I'm obviously when I'm amongst my friends, or people closest to me, I'm myself, they 100% get the authentic me, the authentic version of me, and all of that stuff. So I just feel she's definitely one big inspiration there for me on that. And why I was just yo, I'm just gonna do this, and I'm gonna grow from it. I'm gonna make mistakes, but I'm gonna learn from them. I'm going to become more confident in front of the camera, more confident on the microphone, and just talking in general. So Emma Chamberlain, I had to give her flowers and give her shout out, for sure. And then just all the podcasts I watch in general, just hearing all these guys talking. You got started with All the Smoke, but I love Podcast P, Jeff Teague's podcast, Gil's Arena, and all the guys there. There's so many talented, creative people in this world. Like there's so many talented and creative people in this world, and just to see them, get on their platform and do some marvelous things, some great things, totally like inspired me. And I was just like, yo, I want to live on the internet too. I want to live on YouTube too. I want to create some great content. I want people, to be able to, come across my work, come across my stuff and relate to it and just be like, oh, he's just like me, or he's going through the same things as me. And like, I just want to be as relatable as possible and just like be myself at the same time, and just hang out and just talk, really. Like that's really what it comes from the most. Is just like, I just want to if it just touches one person, where it's just like, yo, I could do this if I tried, or I don't gotta be someone else. Just be yourself. Like if I can just help one person with that, then I'm good. I'm good. Like one person. All it needs to be is just one person. Just needs to be affected by what I'm saying, because there's so many random YouTubers out there that I've watched that have given me inspiration and motivation that like they would never even know it. Like they could live in a different country, live who knows where, in the middle of nowhere, or somewhere, like who knows. So that's just always been a big inspiration for me. But like basketball has always been, my favorite sport, and probably really the only sport I watch nowadays. So seeing, people that I grew up watching, in this media space, and it's also what I majored in college too. So it always feels good to be able to continue that. And shout out Jeff Teague's podcast. I would have never thought that Jeff Teague would have a podcast with him, but that dude's great. I'll probably watch that, honestly, once I'm done recording this today. So yeah, man, shout out the inspirations, man. You all are inspirations, everyone out there, even whoever took the time to listen or watch this, you're an inspiration to me, man. And you keep this going for me. Recording with my friends and just having all of these ideas and putting them out there. So I appreciate y'all. I really do. So where can we go with this? I kind of already gave you guys a life update as the year winds down, man. Just trying to get in this media space, connecting with great, filmmakers that will be able to help, record some great content that I'll be making with my friends. Just trying to connect more with friends, especially as a holiday season comes down. Like, who you are. You're my friends. I don't need to shout the six of you the six of y'all, like 10. I don't have to count all of you guys, but man, y'all know I appreciate you. Work, I don't really like. Anytime one of my boys asks me about work on the podcast, and just in general, I don't like talking about work, because I'm looking at this, I'm like, should I talk about my work, personal life? No, because like work doesn't define you. Like your day job does not define you, so I'm not gonna actually talk about like my day job, but just know I have one and I'm happy with it. So that's all that matters, and I'm just happy in general too. So that makes me feel wonderful about that. But man, Christmas is next Monday. I'm recording this on the 18th. Shout out to one of my best friend's birthdays, Sean. Shout out you on your 33rd birthday. Man, that's my brother for real. But yeah, man, life is good and I'm happy. So like that's all that matters. I've been spending a lot of time alone, and that's some. Let's talk on that a little bit, because a lot of people struggle with alone time, and I struggle with it a lot too. I struggle with it now. I spend too much time alone and I hate it, but I do it, and then I feel stronger about it after each and every day. And then when I'm lucky enough to be graced by, someone that I love, I embrace it, I hold on to it. I don't want it to end. I don't want it to leave, but eventually at some point it does. But I really appreciate I really think that people need to embrace, being alone. It's like not always having to be in groups. Hey, like if that's your job to like be a part of a team in a group, that's different. But I think we all, at the end of the day, we all came into this world alone. We're all gonna leave alone. We all came, even if you're a twin or like you came out one at a time. Like one was born before the other. So, and we're gonna all leave this world we're all gonna leave this world by ourselves. So at the end of the day, you have to really find peace in just and just being alone. Like alone time, it's very therapeutic, and it's hard, especially if you're so used to, you know, being amongst friends or traveling with friends. Like when you do have that quiet time, man, it can get really spooky. It can get really spooky. But it's really imperative to just kind of embrace that time and really learn about yourself and just get lost in your thoughts, and you got to feel your emotions. If that's one thing, like even if a thought comes to your mind that like you do not want to deal with in that moment, you have to just be able to, and like I'm getting good at this, of just letting it go through, just pass through, let it go through. Feel that pain. It's not gonna last for too long. I promise you, it won't last. Especially if it's just a thought. Just feel it, and then let it go. You let it go, let it go, let it go. That's very important. I find that very, very, very important. So, yeah, man, life is good, and one day at a time. I'm not worried about tomorrow, because we're living in today, December 18th, 2023. When you ask me this moment, when you come back to this video, if you're lucky enough to come back to this video in 10 years, just know, on December 18th, 2023, Scoop was feeling so happy. And I'm just ecstatic. I think you can see the smile on my face right now of how happy I am. So, just you gotta roll with the punches. Again, you never know where life's gonna take you. You never know. See, it all comes back. It all comes back. So again, and I kind of talked about this earlier in the beginning too, but just wanted to do other things alongside As Per Usual, because As Per Usual is the firstborn. And even though I'm doing this solo, I mean, it's just, As Per Usual is gonna go far, because like we have the blueprint, you know, we have something good. Oh, I gotta shout out Biggs too. Biggs is also a cast member, he is a cast member. To me, he's a cast member. So, we can even say the four of us, like we have just like a great dynamic, you know, people that they've all grew up together. I'm the outsider kind of amongst the group, even though it's been like over 10 years that we've all known each other, way over 10 years, not way over, but a little over a decade now. But man, I just love it. Every time we all get together, we just have great conversations. We have great, you know, camaraderie and all that good stuff, man. Drink some wine, then we usually go out after that. But when we're locked in on the podcast, man, it's special. And like I know how special that is, and like as much as I want to continue doing that, like you know, things happen, people have different schedules and things like that. It's tough. So you know, this is something that I wanted to do. Is like you can get 1/4 of that just with me, and you know, I'm very I love this stuff. Like this is what I do. Like this is what I really always feel like my calling is in this media stuff, and it's just to, you know, connect with the masses, like connect with whoever I can, because like anyone can see this, anyone can watch this, anyone can learn from this, man. And it's like we all, like, even though we all experience different things, like it's all very similar, like it all intertwined. Like we're all in this, like I always like to say, we're all in this simulation together. Hey, I could get really weird. That's something that you should know about. Maybe in the next episode, I'm actually, for the next episode, I'll have a list of just things that you need to know about me, and just like how weird and off topic I can get and I can be. But it's just, I just want to do other things, man. Like I want to continue with this media stuff, man. I want to do modeling, man. I want to just continue recording content. I want to do interviews. I want to bring this on the road, like when Ants talked about it a bunch on As Per Usual, like when he's out in Miami, man. Like we want to add this As Per Usual component to that, man. Like we want to, you know, set up shop, you know, have people in Miami come through, speak to us, you know, speak with us, break bread with us. Fellowship, you know, is a big buzzword for me. Man, I just want to do all of that, man. The sky's really the limit on everything that we could do. There's so much we could do in this world. We're living in the age of indulgence. Like there's so much. You pick up your phone, this thing right here, this phone right here is trouble. Like this is trouble, because there's so much that you can do. You could get literally addicted to anything. You can learn anything you want. You can learn a new language. You could record a feature film just using this device. Like you could do anything. You can literally do anything. So it's very imperative that they take advantage of this, because like we're living in a very special time, as you know, as much as there's so much bad going on in the world, and like this isn't supposed to be a negative podcast, but like as much as like the negativity is out there, there's so much more positive, like there's so much positivity out there too. Like there's so many opportunities to just kill it, man. There's so many opportunities to kill it in this world too, man, and just achieve things to the best of your ability. So it's just you just have to lock in. You have to control what you can control. You have to just be yourself, be respectful. You just gotta go. You guys gotta go for it, go for it, go for it. And of course there's time too. You gotta take care of yourself, the self-care stuff, all that good stuff, man. Like you got to, it's a lot. It's so much. There's so much, man. And like it gets me so excited. So I'm thinking with this next episode that I do, the next time I do it, which I'm hoping to record another one maybe on Wednesday, get this one out. We'll see how quickly. There's not really going to be much editing that needs to be done. But I just want to just throw out these tidbits all the time. And I want to try to inspire whoever I can, whoever, you know, listen to this, man, just by being myself, man. Like we all have so much to offer. We have so much to give. So it's just again, it's a very big deal for me to come out and come out here and just share it. And then when I'm with my friends, for as per usual, that adds another dynamic. So again, before I leave, man, I please, I'm begging. I'm literally begging right now. Subscribe to the As Per Usual channel on YouTube. Subscribe on Apple Podcasts, on Spotify. You know, you can even give us a follow on Instagram at As Per Usual Pod. I appreciate everyone in this world, the good, the bad, and the ugly, because that's how we make this thing work. Is that good? I can do it better with my right hand. That's how we make this thing work, man. Just find inspiration. If I can leave you with one thing, just find that one thing that inspires you, and just fucking just run through it. I want everyone, you know, to succeed, man. I just wish positivity for everyone, just good vibes, all that good stuff. You know, on that note, I'm out. I'll be back real soon. As per usual, we'll be back in 2024. But this is something right here that I'm doing that's going to be sticking around. So I'll see you all again very soon. I appreciate you. For Scoop, signing out. Peace.